ইনস্ট্রাকশন ভিডিও পেতে চ্যানেলটি সাবস্ক্রাইব করে রাখতে পারেন ও কোথায় কোনো ভুল হলে কমেন্ট এর মাধ্যমে জানাতে ভুলবেন না। 100S1 Fire Indicator Panel Operators Guide Fire detectors in the building are grouped into zones searchable areas. Zones can be isolated by pressing the Zones Isolate push button on the panel. This prevents an alarm from activating the panel outputs. When a non-isolated detector detects an alarm, the fire panel rings the bell, calls the fire brigade, activates the warning or evacuation system use and any other programmed functions. Fire panel display consists of two sections, the operator interface upper section, and the zone isolate push button switches indicators lower section. The operator interface indicates common alarm, fault isolation status on LEDs, and point detector status on the list. When an alarm, fault or isolation occurs, the buzzer will operate until the corresponding acknowledge ACK key is pressed. Silence the bell, press the X bell isolate key. Isolate Signals to evacuation system, press the warn SYS isolate key. This will turn off warning sounders powered by the fire panel. Isolate a zone, press the appropriate zone isolate push button and the zone isolated LED will turn on acknowledge and isolation. Press the isolate ACK key. Acknowledge an alarm, press the fire alarm ACK key. Acknowledge a fault, press the fault ACK key. The panel is reset by pressing system reset. If the alarm won't reset, the point may still be activated. Press fire alarm ACK when the point alarm is displayed, then press disable, enter. Press fault ACK to acknowledge the fault caused by disabling a point, then press system reset again. The disable detector must be re-enabled when the condition is cleared. Put isolates disable fire alarm ACK isolate ACK fault ACK system reset enter. The 100S is supplied with an operator interface plus one expansion bay in a 2-sized cabinet. See figure ek. The zone isolate modules are fitted into the expansion bays from left to right. The first zone is at the top of the leftmost module. Operator interface alphanumeric display, keypad, acknowledge control keys. Zone isolate modules red LED indicates alarm, yellow LED indicates isolation. Push button isolates de-isolates ancillary controls, these are optional. Panel site specific controls isolate push button red alarm LED yellow isolate LED. The Simplex 100S fire indicator panel FIP has three general functions. It monitors fire alarm initiating point smoke detectors, heat detectors, ETH. It activates fire alarm notification devices bells, strobes, brigade call when an initiating point activates. It monitors and controls ancillary building equipment fan controls, relays, ETHs. Note, the term point is used extensively throughout this manual. It is a generic term used to refer to an individual component of the system, such as a single smoke detector, a single break glass manual call point, ETH. The operator interface, shown in figure EG2 and described in table EG, allows a system operator to control and monitor the site-specific components connected to the 100S. The control keys and indicator LEDs are located on the far left of the operator interface as shown in figure EG10. Each control key is pressed to perform the labeled function, and the associated LED turns on to show the function is active. Pressing the key again deselects the function and turns off the LED. Zone alarm. The red indicator is on when there is an active non-isolated alarm in any zone. Fault or on. This indicator lights when zone fault tests have been enabled by pressing the alarm fault or key. When this indicator is on, and a zone isolate key is pressed, a fault or is performed on that zone. Alarm fault or. This key cycles between alarm or fault or, and normal for zone or modes. The indicator lights when zone alarm tests are enabled, the fault or on indicator lights when fault tests are enabled, and both these indicators are off when alarm fault tests are not enabled. Auto reset, the indicator lights when the air conditioning system has been automatically controlled by the 100S. Pressing the key will reset the air conditioning system to normal operation. Isolate, when this indicator is on the ancillary controls, door holders, security trips, ETH, are prevented from operating. Bell isolate, when this indicator is on the fire alarm bell is prevented from operating. Warn says isolate when this indicator is on the warning system is prevented from operating. Caution: operation of these keys may cause alarm signals to sound or fault conditions to be generated by the system. These keys can be pressed at any time. The key feedback beep on buzzer and the LED turning on/off may be the only acknowledgement of the action.